What's going on, guys? Darkside here, back with another video. And today I'm going to be talking about Todd Grisham's recent interview with Fred Talks Fighting, where he talked a little bit about Esbc roster. If you guys don't know who Fred Talks Fighting is, he is a fellow YouTuber and a very good interviewer, only 17 years young. Absolutely incredible. I'm going to go ahead and link the original interview video down below. Go ahead and check it out, man. It's actually a very good interview. Definitely earned a subscriber. I hadn't subscribed before. I am a subscriber now. He also did an interview recently with Ryan Rhodes, so go ahead and check that out also. Pretty good stuff. Yeah, man, basically in this interview, he was asking Todd a couple questions about Esbc. And one thing he asked is the odds that we get Mike Tyson in Esbc. And this was a very interesting question, because I was wondering how Todd would handle, since we've gotten Canelo now, how more people will be asking about different fighters, and kind of his perception on, who can we get now that we got Canelo. And Todd said there's an 80% chance that we can get Mike Tyson in Esbc. 80% chance. Now, for me personally, this is just pure speculation, so don't take this as a fact. Me personally, I feel like if Todd's saying it's an 80% chance, there is a chance that Mike Tyson might already be signed and they're just holding him for another fighter announcement. If you guys saw Ryan Rhodes' interview, I think it was like 2 weeks ago now, he said there's actually a few fighters that they already had signed that they held from the last fighter announcement video. So Mike Tyson could be one of those fighters that was already held that they just didn't release in the last fighter announcement that they're holding for the newer fighter announcement, one that's to come in the future. Because I'm thinking, even if Todd already had Mike Tyson signed, he can't just say, oh yeah, 100% chance Mike Tyson's in the game. We got him. Can't do that because they want to hold him for the announcement. So I'm thinking that he just said 80% to let us know, it's pretty much a done deal, So that's just my thoughts on that part right there. And also, he was asked, pretty much the time frame of the game and things of that nature about the release date. And if you guys didn't watch Boxing Fanatico's stream when he was playing Fight Night with Aimbot kind of touched on this as well, where he's talking about the time it takes to scan fighters in. So the more big names, Todd was saying, the more big names, that Esbc signs, the more fighters they sign to Esbc, the longer it takes to get certain fighters in, because there's so much that goes into scanning the fighters, getting their move sets right, the punch sets, things of that nature. He's saying scanning somebody like Canelo and getting his, his tendencies, his punch sets down, things of that nature, could take upwards to a month of time, so that's why I think the final release date is pretty fluid right now, because they've signed so many different fighters. There's just so much they would have to do. That's why I think it's a good idea to keep it early access, because you don't want to release the full game. Like Todd said, I thought Todd actually said this in the interview, where he's saying, people don't want to buy the game and then be like, hey, wait, where's Canelo? I thought Canelo was in the game. Canelo's coming soon, that type of thing, right? You can't really sell a game like that. So that's why it takes a little bit longer to get certain things done. That's why we don't see a render already of Canelo, because it takes time to get these guys scanned in, get their punch sets and stuff like that into the actual game itself, which I thought was very interesting. And pretty much, guys, to wrap this video up, just want to do a quick update on a couple things Todd said in the interview. And another thing he said was, another question that Fred actually asked him was about fighters' prime models, basically. So, will we be getting fighters as they are right now, or will we be getting them in their prime form, for example? So basically, Todd answered this pretty straightforwardly, where most of the fighters we get in the game, they're pretty much going to be all in their prime. So we're going to be getting people like Roy Jones Jr. in their prime. Everyone who's been announced so far, they're not going to be, they're pretty much going to be the best versions of themselves, essentially. And he didn't touch too much on if we're going to get multiple versions. He said he doesn't know, because it's pretty much up to the development team. I think he mentioned 22-year-old Terrence Crawford versus 31-year-old Bud Crawford. To see pretty much how that would work with different age brackets. I think Fight Night did this with Manny Pacquiao. Had the younger Pacquiao in the lightweight division, and then the older Pacquiao in the welterweight division, and a couple different stats for each character model. So that's something interesting too that Todd touched on there. And yeah, pretty much that's all the little tidbits of information I wanted to touch on from that interview. He gave us a lot of good stuff in that interview, I think, to keep us, they're signing, I think he also mentioned they already signed 12 or 13 fighters since the last since Canelo's announcement, which is crazy. I think since Canelo was announced, they're probably like fighters are probably flocking to Todd now to get into the game. So I mean, if Canelo got into the game, every other fighter is going to take notice for sure. And Canelo's announcement of the game itself has like almost 1 million views, which is absolutely insane. So yeah, I think we're doing pretty good as far as, you know, just getting the game out there. I see a lot of, I think if you look at the reaction videos, the views have been crazy since Canelo got announced. I think that put a lot of people on notice that there's a new boxing game coming out, which I think is fantastic for the game. And I think it's going to bring a lot of new people to kind of get, you know, interested in the development process of the game as well, and I can't wait for it to be released. And we are almost to early access sometime coming during the summer. We cannot wait. We are so hyped. Can't wait. And yeah, man, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. Once again, if you guys haven't yet, go ahead and check out Fred Talks Fighting's channel. He does a lot of great interviews with different fighters. He's done a couple with Ryan Rhodes. He has Todd Grisham on there. And yeah, he's a great interviewer. He asks a lot of great questions. And yeah, shout outs to him for that video with Todd. And that's going to pretty much wrap it up for me. I would appreciate it so much if you guys go ahead and leave a like on this video and subscribe. We're climbing on subscribers as a fairly new channel, so I'm hoping to get up to about 50 subs fairly soon. I'm almost to 30, which is absolutely insane. Like the video, comment down below what you guys think and any fighters you think we might be getting in the game. I know I have a whole slew of fighters I want in the game. I might do a video on that soon, but I'll just keep it as that for now. And yeah, that's going to do it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.